welcome to Simply Saturday Cooking. I'm Chris, and this cooking show is brought to you courtesy of the Moses Lake Grocery Outlet. There are a lot of grocery outlets in the Pacific Northwest, and I know a lot of my operator friends watch the show, and they have actually asked if they could share it with their customers, and I have told them yes. But if you're watching this from a different location other than Central Moses Lake, Washington, just know that the things that we get in our store and order into our store may not be available in your store. But everything else that I will be sharing with you is going to be relevant. So I think we're good. So my husband Paul and I own the Moses Lake Grocery Outlet. We have owned it for, oh my gosh, you guys, it's going to be 18 years on the 6th of March. So we have a huge anniversary coming up. Well, not huge, but it's a pretty good time, 18 years in one little grocery store. Now, Paul and I both have worked for Grocery Outlet since the 80s, so you can do the math on that. Let me grab this. I've got these jalapeno peppers in the oven that I have been charring off. So let me grab those out. Oh, they're perfect. Look at that. I'm going to show you. You guys, we're trying out a new camera today, so I'm going to be moving it around just a little bit. But here they are. They're all nice and charred, which is exactly what I wanted. If it had been summer, I would have done these on the grill, but I wanted a good, nice char on them. It gives them a smoky, richer flavor, and it also takes away some of the heat on them a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap them in parchment paper. I'm going to give them a chance to cool down a little bit, and by wrapping them in parchment paper, the skins it'll sweat the skins a little bit, so that it'll make them easier to pull off. And then I'm going to get rid of this hot cookie sheet before I end up burning myself, because I would do that. Okay, there we go. Also, in this little pan over here, I have some chorizo going. This is the Texas chorizo that you will find in the fresh meat section at the store. And I've just browned it off. I am going to drain. What I'm going to do is take a slotted spoon and move this into my soup pan over here, so that I leave a lot of the drippings that are in the bottom of the pan. Otherwise, your soup just becomes, it gets that top layer of grease on it, and I don't know about you, but I could do without that. So let me grab a slotted spoon. So if you're just joining us this morning, I did not tell you we're doing jalapeno cheddar cheese soup. How many of you have ever had jalapeno poppers? They have, I don't know, they hollow out the jalapeno and they fill it with chorizo that's been mixed with cream cheese, and then they put shredded cheese over the top of it, wrap bacon around it, and then broil it or grill it. And so I had these amazing jalapeno poppers at my sister-in-law's that I think her best friend made. Anyway, neither here nor there. And my family just absolutely raved about them and wanted me to come home and make jalapeno poppers for them. Here's the deal. Stuff like that drives me crazy. There's like 152 steps to it, and there's a lot of work for very little return on the investment, so to speak. And so I was like, I wonder if I could just bring all those flavors to a soup. I could make a huge pot of it. It would be really easy. And of course, you guys, when I'm cooking for you, this takes forever. When I'm just cooking for us, I can have this ready to go inside of about 15 minutes. So we have to kind of put it all in perspective when we're cooking live on TV. Anyway, I'm going to turn this soup pot on. So we see, which burner do I want? This one. So I came home and I did just that. I made this amazing soup out of all the ingredients for jalapeno poppers. So now I've got my chorizo in my soup pot over there, and I've got my soup pot turned on, and I'm gonna give my onion a quick chop. I am a huge sweet onion fan. So if I can buy the sweet onions, I do. I think these are, let me check for you. Oh. These are the Washington grown sweet onions. Right now, I want to say it's a 5-pound package. You guys, I'm getting my receipt for you so I can tell you. Jalapenos. Yeah. Sweet onion, I'll have to look to see how many pounds it is. For $3.99, we have them right now. USA. You guys, I honestly cannot find how many pounds of onions this is, but I'm guessing this is a 5-pound bag. Let me just show it to you. It's huge. So there's the big bag of sweet onions, yummy. $3.99 for, I'm sure it's a 5-pound bag. Anyway, I prefer to cook with the sweet onions, but we also carry yellow and on occasion purple, and so whatever your preference is, I'm sure we've got it. Oh, let's see. So I know the weather doesn't show it, but March is here. Spring's around the corner. We are going to be, is it springing forward in just a few days? And actually the first day of spring is what, the 21st or 22nd of the month? So for all intents and purposes, we're going to pretend like spring has sprung and ignore the snow. At least that's what I'm going to do. What do you guys like to do for Easter? Do you do brunch? Do you do a big Easter dinner? So when I cut my onion, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me move you down here so you can see. When I cut my onion, I kind of just, can you see that okay? Let's see, there we go. Oop! I about knocked you over. There we go. So, well, it doesn't want to stay upright there. Here we go. I cut it in half, and of course, I'm so good at cutting it in half. That wasn't exactly half. And then I just turn it and cut it another, well, probably shouldn't do it like this. Do as I say, not as I do. Cut it in another half, and then I just run my knife down. Now, the reason for this is it just gives you a really nice, consistent, even dice on your onion. And sometimes I dice my onion a little bit bigger and like in chunks when I'm doing a big pot of stew or something like that. But for the most part, I'm not the best skilled knife person, so you have to watch Bobby Flay or Rachel Ray for that. Anyway, it just gives you a nice dice on your onion, and just makes it a lot easier to saute out. And I know you're supposed to hold it like this, but my feet, I don't know. I've never been able to really do that. So when I just get down this far, I just kind of slide it out and finish up my dice. Move my fingers out of the way. I don't pretend to be a professional. I did not go to culinary school. I am a home cook. This is just what I like to do, so I do it. And now I'm just adding my onion into the pot over here. I'm going to give this a quick stir, get it all mixed up. Let me move you back up so you're looking at something. Oh, there we go. I pushed the button and paused you accidentally. There we go. Anyway, I think I'm going back to the old way of doing things next week until I figure out a much better technique. Anyway, I'm going to get this to stir and get all of those flavors just kind of mixing and mingling in there. So you guys, this recipe, and I will post it on the blog. So if you haven't checked out our blog yet, I will add the link in the comments in the Facebook Live. We also have a YouTube now. A lot of people wanted me to put these on YouTube, so I will edit out a little bit of it out on YouTube, so it's a little bit shorter video for you, so you can subscribe and watch us on YouTube. We have an Instagram page now. We have a Pinterest page now. I'll give you all the links to that. So this is my jalapeno pepper. It's all nice and charred, and now that I've wrapped it in parchment and let it steam, you can actually just pull and, whoops, yeah, easier said than done. Anyway, you can actually just pull the skin right off of it. You guys, again, do as I say, not as I do. Jalapeno, when you work with it, you really should wear gloves because the oil from the jalapeno will stay on your fingers, and if you touch your eyeballs or your nose or something after peeling the jalapenos, you could get a little bit of heat going on. So you want to be careful. I just wash my hands really well and try to remind myself not to touch my eyes. So gloves I find very cumbersome, and as much as I know I should use them, I can't seem to do anything with them on. So I've just kind of learned over the years how not to touch my face after working with jalapenos. But see how nice that the whole skin just slid right off of that. So I'm using a pound of Texas chorizo sausage located in our fresh meat department. And I can actually tell you the cost on that. I have my little receipt from yesterday. It was $2.99 for that 1 pound package. I had so much fun shopping yesterday. I found so many fun things. And for those of you that are interested, I did post on our YouTube. I did a YouTube video. It is posted on our YouTube. My whole shopping trip yesterday. I didn't post the whole shopping trip. I posted what I found while I was shopping. Deanna says she suggests that if I'm cooking with products I have in the store right now, that I should show those products at the first of the show as the ingredients available for the recipe at the store. Oops. And there was more to that comment, and I can't read it right now, but I will. Deanna, here's the deal. Everything that you see me cooking with today came from the store. So all the ingredients going in this pot came from Grocery Outlet. You guys, I have said it once and I'll say it 100 million times. I don't shop anywhere else unless I absolutely, totally have to. And then it's almost like I go in there kicking and screaming. So if you see me cooking with something on this show, it's more than likely from the Grocery Outlet. And if it's not, I'm going to tell you it's not from the Grocery Outlet, and I'll tell you where I got it. But everything you see me cooking cooking here today is from the store. And sometimes I pre-prep, Deanna, which is kind of what I did today. And so there was some things that the packaging was already gone, and I couldn't show you. But that is a great suggestion. And going forward, I will do a better job of that. But again, everything you see me cooking with here came from the store, came from Grocery Outlet, not just any store. And then, okay, you guys, good morning, Sonia. It was really nice to see you too. I'm sorry we didn't get to spend a little bit more time together. That I would have enjoyed that. So you guys, I'm just removing the seeds. We like it spicy, but not totally spicy. So I'll leave, like, see, there's just a few like that. I'll leave those in there. By the way, this was a pound of jalapenos. And the pound of jalapenos were $2.69. They are found in the fresh produce department on the top shelf in the refrigerated part of it. Because I'm sorry I wasn't a little more prepared for you today. I kind of had plans to be, and since being out of town last week, I had some other things that I had to take care of this morning. So, I'm going to show you in just a second. Thank you, Deanna. I just wanted to make sure that you totally understood that most of what I am doing and sharing with you does come from the store. And I will do a little bit better job about just showing you all the ingredients. This particular soup, the ingredients are super simple. It's a pound of Texas chorizo. I'm using 4 jalapenos. Jalapenos are kind of one of those personal preference foods. So you can use more, you can use less. It just kind of depends on how much heat you want in your soup. We do like it just a little bit spicier. And then it's a pound of, an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese. And after I get these jalapenos in the pot, I kind of sprinkle, or I don't kind of, I do sprinkle a little bit of flour over everything. That helps, the flour helps to kind of soak up any of the excess oil left from the chorizo in the bottom of the pan. Also helps to thicken your soup just a little bit. And then cheddar cheese is the final ingredient in it, and milk. It is a cream-based soup. So super simple ingredients. On the blog, I will post all the ingredients and the recipe, so you have some place to go to look for all that information. So Deanna, you can find that recipe on the blog. And thank you so much. She says I do a great job with the shows. You know, you guys, I just wing it. I'm just a home cook, and really, I'm just winging it. So let me show you how I chop these jalapenos up, just into small little bits. I did. Again, you guys, this is personal preference. I did char them in the broiler today. You could char them on the grill if you wanted to, or if you're lucky enough to have a gas cooking station, you could just char them in the open flame. So that's kind of how I work that. And then I like to do that just because it mellows out the jalapeno just a little bit. But you could also just chop up a raw jalapeno and put it in there. So there's really not a lot of rules. I think cooking is so much fun. You just can kind of make things up as you go and play with things, and you can create stuff from whatever you have on hand. And it's just, for me, it's just a lot of fun. And I hope that even if you guys are mostly recipe users, so what I'm doing now is I'm just dicing this cream cheese into some smaller bits so it melts a little bit faster when we get it going in there. Anyway, if you guys are recipe cooks, and there is absolutely totally nothing wrong with that, maybe this will inspire you to give dump cooking a little bit of a try. It can be a lot of fun. Substituting things out. I'm the queen of substitution. If we don't have it at the store, I'm going to figure out something to substitute with it. So today I'm using an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese. If we hadn't had a brick of cream cheese at the store, but we had the tubs, I would have just gotten a tub. So there are lots of things that are very interchangeable that you can do. I'm going to move you just a little bit. There you go. I'm going to grab the flour and sprinkle a little bit of flour into the bottom of this pan. And it's only about a tablespoon I'm going to put in there. Again, it's just enough to kind of soak up some of the oils that came off the chorizo and thicken the soup just a little bit. And then you do want to give that a chance to just, the flour a chance to cook just a little bit, or else you'll get that raw flour taste in there, and you certainly don't want the raw flour taste. So we'll give that, I turned up the heat just a little bit, and we'll give that just a couple of minutes to go ahead and cook the flour. And I've chopped up the cream cheese and got it all ready to go. And you guys, there's also onion in this. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. Well, I did mention it, but I forgot to mention it with the ingredients. Let me see. And then I've got Colby Jack cheese that I'm using today. You can use, again, you could just use sharp cheddar, regular cheddar. You could do white cheddar. So I happen to have Colby Jack on hand. I'm going to grate a little bit more of that. But that's what I'm using today. I did not have bacon today. However, normally I would have also cut up and put in a little bit of bacon because that's what I kind of designed this recipe off of a jalapeno popper, and jalapeno poppers are wrapped in bacon. So normally I would have put a little bit of bacon in here, but I was out, I know, can you believe it? Out of bacon. I actually have some in the freezer, I just need to get it out, but anyway. And you guys, there are some things that I am very, very frugal about, and I will buy a brick of cheese and shred it before I buy a bag of shredded. At the grocery outlet, it doesn't really matter. But that's a little bit of a cost-saving tip. Usually, bagged cheese is a little more expensive than just brick cheese. So, and for some reason, and again, this is personal preference, for some reason, I actually like the flavor of the brick cheese that I shred better than I like the pre-shred cheese. Again, that's just one of my little quirks. So I do use pre-shredded cheese. I actually love the 4 Italian blend. And it's perfect because it's got a blend of 4 Italian cheeses, and I really do enjoy that one. So it's not that I don't ever buy it or don't ever use it, just in some cases like Colby Jack, I prefer the brick over the shred. So and we'll give that a little stir again. It's making noise, so I'm guessing the flour's getting cooked. Perfect. I mean, it's very steamy. I don't know if I can get you a little bit of a, let me see if I can bring you over and give you a little bit of a shot of the bottom of the pan. So it's pretty steamy, but there you go. All your good stuff is in the pot. And now I'm just going to add my cream cheese to it. So I'm putting in my brick of cream cheese. And then I'm just going to let that melt down a little bit. Put it back on my heat. Let that melt down just a little bit. And I'm gonna add a little bit of milk to that. So here's the other deal. I had about this much milk, which isn't gonna be enough. And I had a can of evaporated milk. So I'm gonna use up what I have in my pantry, and I'm just gonna add evaporated milk, which, you guys, if you've never cooked with evaporated milk, it kind of gives a lot of, especially cream-based soups, it gives it a really silky, thicker texture. So I kind of like how it brings the soup together. So a lot of times I will cook with a can of evaporated milk. And we're gonna give that a stir. Let that warm up and get all those little bits off the bottom, because that's where all the flavor is. With the chorizo, you don't need a lot of salt in this soup. And the jalapenos, giving it some spice. I do put a little bit of black pepper in there. And this is probably one of the few soups that I don't use garlic in. Okay, I'm gonna add it. This is a little bit thicker than what I want it to be right now, but that soup is cream cheese is melting down, and everything's blending and becoming very, very smooth. And we're gonna get ready to put in and I'll show you that in just a second before I add the rest of my milk to it. So, Deanna says she's read where brick cheese is much better than cheese already shredded. It said that the brick cheese has a much better flavor. Good to know that you backed that fact up. Thank you so much. I'm glad it's not all in my mind, Deanna. I gotta tell you, because sometimes I wonder the things that I make up. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that thinks that way. And you know what, if you have a food processor, which I do, but I'm so lazy I don't bring it out 95% of the time. If you have a food processor, it is so quick and easy to shred your own cheese. You just cut it into a couple of different little bricks and you just push it through your food processor and pop it in a Ziploc bag and you're good to go. And I really do like the flavor of it better. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, this soup looks so yummy right now. It is a little bit thick. I'm gonna bring you over and show it to you. And it's gonna get thicker as soon as we add the cheddar cheese to it. So we're definitely gonna need to thin it out a little bit. But there you go. See how that, between the cream cheese and the evaporated milk, you can really see how it just makes it a smooth, nice consistency in your soup. And I like a little bit, when I do this particular type of soup, I like it to be a little bit thicker. You can, if you prefer a thinner soup, you just add more milk to it. And someone said earlier that their children were allergic to milk, or there was some milk allergies in their home. There's an awful lot of dairy in this, and I completely understand. But you could, depending, you could use a plain almond milk in here. There are some nice soy cheeses available. So there's definitely ways you can substitute and do some different things. Now I have probably 2 cups of shredded cheese here, which I am going to put, I like my soup cheesy, so probably just like my humor. So I'm gonna put all of my cheese in there. Of course, I'm making a mess on my stove top, but you know. There we go. And as far as how much milk do you use, again, It really depends on the consistency. I used a can of evaporated milk, which I believe is 8 ounces. And then I used probably another cup, a cup and a half by the time it's said and done of whole milk. If you don't want to use whole milk, you certainly can use skim milk, 2% milk. Really, it's all up to you. And if you're using a skim milk or a 2% milk, with a little bit tends to be not quite as rich and creamy, then adding the cream cheese really gives you that silky, thick, richness. And cream cheese, if you guys are, this is not a low calorie soup. But if you wanted to use the 1/3 less fat cream cheese, you could sure do that. You're going to get the same basic thing out of it. So there's always ways to take a recipe and make it a little less caloric, I guess you would call it. I'm going to get a little bowl and show you what this soup looks like. It probably needs to go ahead and cook for a little bit longer just to incorporate all those flavors. So you turn it down to low and you let it cook or simmer for another, half hour, 30 minutes. Watching it, because if it thickens up, you want to add a little bit more milk to it. Let me grab a bowl. And a spoon, and we'll just ladle a little bit of this right in here for you so that you can kind of see what it looks like. Now this obviously is going to, I've thinned it out just a little bit. It is going to thicken back up as that milk warms up and gets warm. So, but you can see the really creamy consistency of it. Maybe I'll bring you down and show you a little bit closer up. Really creamy consistency of it. I like the big chunks of the chorizo and the jalapeno peppers. Yum. So I'm going to give it a taste. So personally, my humble opinion, it's got a really nice spice to it, not too much. Jalapeno, you can taste the jalapeno, but you're not, but it's very mellow. It needs a little bit of salt, in my opinion. Again, I've always wait until after I have done the whole batch together and given it a taste before I add the salt, because I never know with soup, especially when you're cooking with like a sausage or a chorizo, if it's going to be too salty. So it does need a little bit more salt, so I will add that. And then again, we're just gonna let this kind of hang out and simmer and do its thing. And then when Paul gets home, we'll have a little bit of lunch, or depending, might be a little bit of dinner. All right. Okay, you guys, I would love your feedback. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to my little bowl here and give this another taste and see if that does it. And I'm going to get a little bite of chorizo in there too. So, that's perfect. Very, very creamy. It does need to thicken up a little bit more. Chorizo's yummy. It's really got a nice cheddar flavor to it. You guys, just give this soup a try. I think you're gonna really like it. I am going to work on figuring out my options as far as the best way to video this cooking show for you guys so that you can see everything. I may go back to the way that I have been doing it, which gives you kind of a small broadcast view, but at least you can kind of see everything that's cooking without me moving you around. So any feedback today, greatly appreciated. I can take constructive criticism well, just be nice. And if you have any questions on this, or I can give you any more information, or you had questions about the ingredients, let me know. Again, I will be posting the link to the blog with the recipe a little bit later on, either today or by Monday at least. I have a few things I'm catching up from being gone last week. So anyway, you guys have a great week. Be sure to watch out for Treasure Hunt Tuesday, where I am going to go grocery shopping and just refill the things that I'm out of and take a peek at the new stuff that's coming to the store. So you guys get a sneak peek on that. Treasure Hunt Tuesday is always a lot of fun. And then if you guys, a lot of people have been asking me for wine recommendations. Jalapeno cheddar soup has a little bit of a spicy kick to it. So a Syrah, and we have a couple of them at the store right now. Let me show you the bottle I bought yesterday. I have not tried it yet, so I can't give you any information on that, but I can at least show you what it looks like. So it's Karis Syrah, and it is a 2013. I'm excited to try it. So that's the bottle, what it looks like, and the price for that yesterday was $5.99. So, and it is a Monterey County, California Syrah. So I'm going to give this a try a little bit later with my soup. So I'll give you a little bit of a review on that at some point in time this weekend as well. Other than that, you guys have a fabulous week. I'll see you on Treasure Hunt Tuesday, and I'll look forward to more Simply Saturday cooking with you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.